Poem speech. Poem that I chose, Footprints in the Sand by Carolyn Carty in 1963. One night, a man had a dream. He dreamed that he was walking along the beach with the Lord. Across the sky flashed scenes from his life. For each scene, he noticed two sets of footprints in the sand, one belonging to him and the other to the Lord. When the last scene of his life flashed before him, he looked back at the footprints in the sand. He noticed that many times along the path of his life, there was only one set of footprints. He also noticed that it happened at the very last and saddest times in his life. This really bothered him, and he questioned the Lord about it. Lord, you said that once I decided to follow you, you'd walk with me all the way. But I have noticed that during the most troublesome times in my life, there's only one set of footprints. I don't understand why. When I needed you most, you would leave me. The Lord replied, My son, my precious child, I love you, and I would never leave you. During your times of trial and suffering, when you see only one set of footprints, it was then that I carried you. This poem has some strengths and weaknesses. Its strengths include emotional impact, simple and clear imagery, resolution. The poem has a strong emotional impact as it deals with the themes of faith, companionship, and divine support during difficult times. Many readers can relate to the feelings of questioning one's faith during moments of despair. The use of the metaphor of footprints in the sand is straightforward and easy to understand. It effectively conveys the message of God's presence and support in times of need. The poem ends with a comforting and reassuring message from the Lord, providing a sense of closure and offering solace to the reader. It leaves the reader with a feeling of hope and faith. There are some weaknesses, though. There's a lack of poetic complexity. There's a bit of repetition, and some would say a lack of originality. The poem is relatively simple in its structure and language, which may be seen as a weakness by readers who prefer more complex and nuanced poetry. Some might find it too straightforward and lacking in depth. The poem repeats the idea of footprints several times, which could be seen as monotonous to some readers, and the theme of footprints in the sand and divine guidance during difficult times is a well-known trope in spiritual literature. Some readers may find this poem lacking in originality or creativity. In summary, Carolyn Carty's poem is a straightforward, emotionally resonant piece that effectively conveys its message of faith and divine support. However, its simplicity and lack of originality may be considered as a weakness by some readers who prefer more complex or innovative poetry. Thank you.